In this video, I'll be helping you with the ALEKS problem type called using a trigonometric ratio to find an angle measure in a right triangle. And in this example, we are trying to find the angle x. In this right triangle, we're going to round it to the nearest tenth of a degree. And I've got two measures here, 12 and 19. And we can tell that the 19 is the hypotenuse side of this right triangle. And with respect to this angle x, 12 is the opposite, leaving this third side as adjacent to the angle x. And for right triangles, we know our mnemonic, SOHCAHTOA, which helps us remember that the sine is the opposite over the hypotenuse, the cosine is the adjacent over the hypotenuse, and the tangent is the opposite over adjacent. In this example, we're given the 12, which is the opposite side, and we're given 19, which is the hypotenuse. So we can tell the trig function that applies is the sine. And writing that out, I can say that the sine of the angle x is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. And in this example, the opposite is 12, and the hypotenuse is 19. So we have our trigonometric formula, and to solve for x is the angle inside of the sine function. We can use inverse trig functions to undo trigonometric functions. I'll give myself a little room here and say that to isolate the x on the left-hand side, I would need to take the inverse sine of that side, which means I would also take the inverse sine of the right-hand side. Sine and inverse sine cancel, giving us that x is equal to the inverse sine of 12 over 19. And from here, we just need to use a calculator. I've used Desmos here to calculate the inverse sine of 12 over 19, making sure whichever calculator I'm using, I'm in degrees, since I was asked for the angle in degrees. This gives our angle x in degrees, but we are rounding to the nearest tenth. The nearest tenth is this digit. With a 6 behind it, I would round up. So the value of our angle x is 39.2 degrees.